Welcome back to Punch Drunk Nerd. I'm Miguel Sanchez. With me today is
Ed Bull.
Ed
and
Bull.
I just won. I just won the game of chicken.
No, I can't believe I did that. Yeah, Luis isn't here currently. He's going to be here in just a little bit. He was a little delayed, so we're going to get started without him. We're vibing tonight, you guys. I'm back. First off, I've been gone for a couple weeks.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Who is this person? He's taken over Luis. He murdered Luis, and here he is now.
Whoa. No, but what an episode to come back on. There's a lot of stuff I really want to talk about on this one, and I can't wait to get into it. You guys know the drill. We're talking about news, trailers, horses that have died, and we're going to talk about our feature discussion. You guys, the Golden Globe nominations have come out, and Ed, you're going to really have to lead that conversation.
Or Luis, yeah, we'll see.
And we're also going to talk about the Christmas hit of the year, the Holdovers. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how we feel about that. And as always, we'll talk about what we're into. And Ed, good God, you've watched a lot.
I've watched a lot. It's my season, baby.
This is an Ed heavy episode, okay? So
maybe we'll see how long you have to talk about Spider-Man 2, which
starts now.
Okay. We've been talking about Spider-Man 2 a lot recently.
Yeah, we've talked about the game a lot
since you've been gone, I guess. But
I had to stop. That's why I left. I was like, if I keep recording, I'll keep talking Spider-Man 2. No, this is the game that just won't quit, okay? Except I have currently, and I've been waiting on the latest update to come out, which has been ever since the game came out. The big update was going to come out by the end of 2023. Well, Ed, I know you're upset about this. It's terrible news out of Insomniac Studios today. The big Spider-Man 2 update for PS5 is not coming until early 2024 now. They released
that's like less than a month away, right?
That could be January 1st. It could be January 31st, how many days are in January. So you haven't played the game, but I'm going to tell you about some updates that I've been looking forward to and that they have said that should be in this big update coming out next year.
Yeah.
So first off, the big thing that I've been really wanting is New Game Plus. Ed, you know what a New Game Plus is?
No.
Cool. We've talked about it a lot. You haven't listened to a single episode. That's cool.
Oh, man, I tune out every time.
I get it.
This New is game, like streaming.
Stop. Okay, just stop. Just stop. If you don't know, just say you don't know. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
No, New Game Plus, when you finish the story, Ed, brief recap. You play the story, you finish the game. A lot of games will offer a New Game Plus where you replay the story all over again, but they give you all of the achievements and upgrades and everything you've earned through your first playthrough. So you get to play like on a hyped up level. You know what I mean? Yeah. And in Spider-Man 2, you earn a lot of powers. I've earned a lot of powers, and I want to replay that story again with those powers. So early 2024, the update will come out with New Game Plus. They're giving you the opportunity to replay some levels in the story. So if there was like a big chapter you thought was really fun and you want to replay, they're going to give you that opportunity without having to start the whole story again, you know?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
What, Ed, you have a question?
So are you telling me that at some point in gaming history, they stopped letting you go back to certain points, certain chapters in a story?
Oh, interesting.
And then... yeah, interesting. That is interesting.
I didn't expect you to have such a passionate view on this part of the story.
Like when you're paying above and beyond, I feel like everything. I understand, like once you've completed a story, maybe, but like, are there still like moments, like pinpoints throughout the storyline where you save it and you can go back? I feel like that has always been a thing.
Most modern gaming most modern gaming has an autosave function. So what's happening is the
Right.
system is auto-saving as you go. And there's kind of like a separate file for autosaves. Now, if you want to, don't yawn yet. I'm just starting to answer your question, Ed. You can also manually save a game.
Yeah.
And that's a more old school thing where you're like
Sure.
manually saving your progress in the game. There are games that you can go back and replay chapters. Okay. It's just sometimes you feel like you have to go back and play the whole story to get there. And Insomniac is saying you can go back and play Spider-Man 2. You can just pick a chapter and replay that in the story.
Right. Yeah.
A couple other things. These are the things you really wanted to hear about, Ed. Okay. So I don't know if you know this, but in spoiler, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man becomes Venom at one point. You know what I mean? He gets the Venom powers. And when you become Venom, you get these, they're called tendrils. Do you know what a tendril is?
Like tentacles?
Like kind of like a tentacle, right? Like I would have context clued that together. I've never heard the word tendril before. I've never said it so many times. But anyway, you punch bad guys and your Venom punch comes out and it's like a tendril is what they're calling it. Anyway, as you in the new game plus or in the settings of the new update, you can change the colors. So like if there's a point where you're black Venom and you're white Venom. And I assume that means you can change between both of those colors. And also finally, Ed, have you ever just wished, you know what I mean?
Upon a star.
When you wake up in the morning that you were just like, that it was the end of the day and I don't even have to go through this day. Well, in Spider-Man 2, you can change the time of day. Okay.
Oh, cool.
Now there are a few games that use this feature. So it is basically like you go to like a meditation point or something like that. And then the sun goes for whoosh. And then all of a sudden the moon is up and it's nighttime. You know what I mean? So
which do you prefer?
Well, it kind of depends on the game that I'm playing. Like if I'm playing Assassin's Creed Origins, okay, so that's the one where they're in Egypt.
Yeah.
And sometimes the sunny desert feels like a vibe. And sometimes you want to stealth and you want to put that moon up so that I can stealth and everyone's asleep and it's a little quieter. So it just kind of depends on the game you're playing and what you're going for.
But Spider-Man specifically.
Spider-Man 2. Ed, I don't mean to. We got time to fill. You know what I mean? So I want to ask you a quick question. You texted me earlier tonight about video games, and I feel like we should just have this conversation now. Okay?
Sure.
Ed, you texted me. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You are inspired to maybe buy the Nintendo Switch.
Possibly, yeah.
Tell me, can you just overview it? What's going on?
This hasn't even been like an open discussion. It's more of just like, I don't know really what made it click, but, well, I guess like, I don't know, like seeing like how your child is adapting to playing video games.
Yes.
And Lily is good with like, she had her tablet, which recently kind of just died, but, yeah, but she, I don't know. She's engaging with things like that a lot more. And I know there are games out there that are, fun and educational, but easy, to grasp, and, it's a modern world kind of thing. But no, I was thinking like, what's the equivalent of what the Wii was back in its heyday? You know what I mean? Like,
that's the Nintendo Switch.
Right. So I was just like, yeah, that would be cool, because one, the whole family can play it.
Yeah.
The games are more appealing. As of right now, like, sure, do I want like a PlayStation for myself and so I can play some of the more like mature games? But like, if that's something I'm going to invest in the near future, I'd rather it be something that we can at least share. Yeah, exactly, and then benefit from it. But so yeah, anyway, it was just a consideration, and I also thought like it's been around for a while. I know it's probably pretty accessible, and I'm sure they have a few different versions. Maybe some more affordable, or some, just whatever, all the possibilities. So that's basically. I've not mentioned this to Sarah, and
get her on the phone, get her on the episode right now.
Well, she clearly won't answer your calls. So
no, clearly. Ed, you asked me to not get super passionate about this, and I promise I won't. But can I give you some thoughts on this dilemma you're having?
Yeah.
Okay. So first off, hey, let's talk. The Nintendo. All right.
Video games.
Hey. Right. So I think this is, for the reasons you've already said, this is the console for you guys, okay? Because all three of you can play it. You can all three play it solo if for some reason each of you found a game that you really wanted to play. And you can also play together as a family. You know what I mean?
Right.
We have been kind of trading off. We just have the Switch, so it comes with the two controllers you can pull off. Pull off. And let me clip that. And so it's just been like all three of us kind of taking turns, like on 2-player type games. But we bought the console during COVID. Okay. I was like, okay, we're home a lot. It was relatively affordable. I got the Nintendo Switch for me and Kristen. And my boy was not, I don't think he was even he was a little over 1 year old when that happened. And I remember thinking, down the line, like 5, 6, 7 years old, he can play the Switch with us. And that was kind of the justification. This dude's been playing it since last year. Okay. Thumbs up. More like thumbs down. Okay.
Oh.
And no, he plays it pretty regularly. I bought several cartridges, different games he can play, and they got lost in the last move, and we just found them in this recent move.
Nice.
And so it's like Christmas all over again.
Yeah,
he's like,
hell yeah.
Look at all these games. So we're kind of having fun. The one that we played, me and him both. Now, this is for you and a 2-player. So you and Sarah, you and Lily. This is a good game. Super Smash Bros. You ever play that game?
Of course.
Oh, come on. On the N64. That's when I played it last. Okay.
I didn't play it there. It was like on more recent iterations.
Well, I'm an old head. And I Pikachu's in the game, and the boy saw the cartridge or whatever and saw Pikachu, and he was like, "Oh, Pikachu." I later found out he was talking about Kirby. But I was like, "Oh yeah, that's Super Smash Bros. We could sit down and play that game." So I put it on the TV. We played it, and we for like a whole day last weekend, we were playing that back and forth. I couldn't believe how long we played it, and it was so fun. The other thing about the Switch, Ed, you can hold it. That's the Switch is in the name. You can hold it, or you can put it on your TV. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
It comes with a console and a power cord. You just need an HDMI. You plug it right into the TV or the projector. Boom, you're playing Switch on the TV. It's super easy. This is kind of the console for you guys, because listen, I'm a parent, and whether good or bad is up to you who's listening, but sometimes I hand my son the Switch. Like, we're going on a road trip in a week. I'm going to hand him the Switch for a period of time, and he's going to sit back there and he's going to quietly play that while I drive for 9 hours. And that's okay. You can have that too.
You guys are driving down to Texas?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. On a separate note, we're driving down. It's going to be really fun.
But yeah.
So no, you texted me about this. I was just kind of like, ooh, and I feel like I would have more conversations with you about this. But the Switch, should Ed get the Switch? Let us know down in the comments. Like, subscribe, youtube.com.
Yeah.
We'll do a poll. Come on, you guys. Please engage with us.
Or also, send me money.
That's right. That's right.
As always.
If you guys don't engage with our podcast on socials, we may die.
We might.
Speaking of, Ed, you have some news.
Oh, man. Terrible segue. Man, yeah. So, Miguel, you were probably as shocked as I was.
I was, actually. I was being silly, but
this very sad passing of Andre Brouwer.
My God.
Like, out of nowhere. Like, I happened to be out with a friend and getting a drink and stuff, on a weeknight, and I looked down at my phone for 1 minute, and that was the first thing that came up.
And some
And
of
I
the
was
most
like, oh
tragic
my
news you
God.
could experience. Yeah.
So sad. And then I think you're on this group chat. Our good friend Chase texted us. I was like, oh Jesus Christ! Chase is here to tell us who died now, and it didn't register with me the name right away, and I was just like, oh shit!
Yeah.
That's Captain Holt. So
such an unexpected death, you know what I mean? And we just had Matthew Perry a few weeks ago.
Yeah. Oh,
earlier this year, Lance Reddick died, and I don't know if that was a big deal for you, but
that was a shock,
that was a big deal,
because that dude was fit as a fiddle. Which isn't to say Andre Braugher wasn't, but apparently it was just brought on by some illness he had recently.
Oh, I hadn't heard that yet. I know you're breaking that news to me.
61 years old,
oh man,
no age at all, and I feel like after Brooklyn Nine-Nine, he was gonna show up a lot more.
He kind of could have done anything,
anything, yeah. He was so good in that show, man, and the outpouring of messages and videos of him and stuff like that from Brooklyn Nine-Nine and other stuff. But yeah, I mean, it was sad. That was a sad one. So I thought he was worthy of a shout out for sure.
No, I agree.
Because and if you haven't watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine, check it out. He was also in that movie Glory. Have you seen that one with Matthew Broderick and Denzel Washington? Yeah,
Glory. The one we all watched
as kids
in 10th grade history when some PE coach showed us a historical drama.
He's like, watch this. Yeah.
We've seen Glory, Ed. No, it's actually been forever since I've seen that. That's insane.
But yeah, he's great in that too. Everybody usually talks about Denzel Washington in that film, but he was great. That was my introduction to him. So sad loss, Andre Braugher.
We're gonna have to watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine now.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Yeah, incredible moments. Yeah, very sad. So yeah, there it is. So let's move swiftly on to some more lighthearted fare, Miguel. We had some trailers.
Oh,
and let's get the. Oh wait, did I miss something?
No, I was going to segue into our future discussion. I forgot about trailers. Let's go.
Let's do it because there's one we really want to talk about.
Yeah, let's talk about the other one first.
And it's Luis's fault for not being here. We're not going to talk about Kung Fu Panda 4 because
you guys, Kung Fu Panda the trilogy is no longer a trilogy. They're adding a fourth one. You can watch the trailer on your own.
We're not going to talk about it.
Ed's kind of anti-Jack Black. That's the reason why we're not talking about it.
I've come around to him, but I love actually the first Kung Fu Panda. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I think it's a great movie.
Not The Holiday though. You don't love that movie.
But he wasn't even the worst part about that. It was Cameron Diaz.
Well, that's the first time you've ever said that. Okay.
I mean, would Jack Black ever be able to get with Kate Winslet? No.
There it is. Stupid. There it is. I was telling Kristen that the last time we watched this movie. I was like, yeah, Ed hates this movie solely because Jack Black gets with Kate Winslet, who Ed would kill the entire earth to be with.
Not so much that. I just his movies didn't really appeal to me. I didn't like School of Rock. It
You're such an asshole.
Cheesy. Oh no, I liked him in The Jackal.
The Jackal is the movie you're pulling out of your ass right now? Oh my god. Dude, Richard Gere, he was barely in The Jackal. First off, that had to have been one of his first big movies. Yeah. And he gets his arm blown off in that movie. My mom was like, Miguel, look away. Miguel, look away. I was like, no, hang on. What happened?
What happened to his arm? So
I haven't thought about that movie in forever.
Yeah, good one. Check it out. But point being, like King Kong, he's like my least favorite part about that too. Like he spends the whole movie just staring off camera.
Well,
it gets a little tiresome, and that's on Peter
name
Jackson
one Jack Black,
too.
one Jack Black movie you like.
Tropic
Jumanji
Thunder.
2. Tropic Thunder. Okay, that's a good role.
He's great in Tropic Thunder.
Yeah. He's great in a lot of things.
Yeah, and I love his. I love it when he breaks out in song.
Yeah,
it's usually fun. So,
well,
yeah. Anyway,
we're not going to talk about Kung Fu Panda 4. You'll see it. You won't see it.
I was like, why are we talking about Jack Black again?
I had to bring it back.
Yeah. Okay, so first off, I just want to point out this trailer because I thought it looked good and interesting. The Mr. and Mrs. Smith trailer for the new Amazon Prime series. Did you, Miguel? You watched this trailer? I assume
I did a couple times. Yeah, I watched it when it came out. I watched it just tonight.
So this has Donald Glover, and who I initially thought was supposed to be Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Like I thought she was involved in this.
That is correct. Yeah. But she dropped a while back.
Interesting. Because that would have been great. Not to say that Maya Erskine is any less. I am just not familiar with her.
I've seen her, and I want to say a couple things. I know for sure she was in. Oh my god! The moment I started talking, I forgot about the name. Insecure. She was on Insecure for a season or two.
Yeah.
And she's pretty good, and I think she's totally a right fit for the character and with Donald Glover. Yeah. I was slightly disappointed that Phoebe Waller-Bridge wasn't this character. That just kind of to me, that's what kind of sold the product. I was like, oh, those two absolutely could. If you're gonna reboot Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie, let's have two pretty big names.
Yeah.
But now that she's subbed out, it's okay, maybe now it doesn't have to be the big name. Maybe now it has to lie on its
story.
You know what I mean? What it's good at. So
I don't know about you, but I thought it looked pretty cool. It's got a stacked cast. It's got Paul Dano, John Turturro, and that's where I'm at.
That was a stacked cast.
That's enough, though. That's all you
guys want to see the rest of the cast? Go to imdb.com.
Not a lot of people I instantly recognize. But anyway, that's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it. And that starts next year, Friday, February 2nd. Check out the trailer. It's fun.
Did you like the original movie?
I did a little bit, at least at the time. I haven't seen it in a long time. So
I'll say this, before that show comes out, I'm definitely going to sit down and watch that movie again just to see how much of it
fun.
Yeah, I mean it was a pretty big deal. So I'm kind of down to see this. I think it looks like a lot of fun. Again, what really sold me was Donald Glover and Phoebe Waller-Bridge. I almost called her Filbert. Sorry.
I'm stealing that name. That's mine.
I will say this is something I would give a shot. Maybe would watch an episode, and depending on, would wait until the rest of the season comes out, or maybe I'll watch week by week. Let's find out.
Yeah. See how it turns out. All right. So that brings us to the bigger trailer this week.
Man.
Civil War from Alex Garland, who people will know from last year's Men, Ex Machina, and some Black Mirror episodes. And so, this is his latest.
And 28 days later, wasn't it? Or 28 weeks later, he wrote one of those movies?
Maybe. I don't know.
100%.
So, IMDb has the following...
this is a stacked cast.
Oh. This is a stacked cast. But anyway, the film follows events in the US during a civil war. Stop. Government forces attack civilians. Stop. Journalists are shot in the Capitol.
Stop.
Stop. No, really, stop.
Please.
Please stop. So yeah, Miguel, you have thoughts on this trailer?
Man, you last week you shared the poster between our text thread.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, Civil War. They're in the Statue of Liberty, and it's like snipers facing opposite directions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, modern Civil War. You think of Handmaid's Tale. Is that it? Where like the country devolves, you know what I mean? In like a modern day setting, you know what I mean? So that's kind of what I was like, oh, okay, it's going to be something pretty wild. I don't know. I'm very torn because there were elements of the trailer that really hooked me. I was like, ooh, let me see more of this. And then there was other elements where I was kind of just like, I don't care about this. You know what I mean? I will say this. We need to straight away, we need to talk about the number one fact. Okay. The Civil War is between the United States of America and two states that are like trying to secede or they're going against the norm. And it's California and Texas.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like straight away we got lost in the sauce on what we were doing with this because I was very glad to see that not only did I feel this way, the internet felt this way. I showed Kristen the trailer earlier, and that was like the first thing she said. And I was just kind of blown away because I don't think California and Texas would ever link up in a civil war against America. They're so total like polar opposites.
Yeah. So let me tell you my quick thoughts.
Okay.
The main reason, like, what drew me to that poster, and it was really more of just a declaration that
of independence.
Alex Garland was coming out with a new film. For me, he's like one of those directors, at least, you know, who I'll make an effort to go see in the theater because he's an interesting. Like he did Ex Machina, and I love that movie. It's a great movie. Annihilation was a little, ambiguous, but it was still very striking and interesting. And then I saw Men, and that was an experience. I won't see Men again, probably, but it was it was a lot. But this one, because it's a lot. It's more just like social commentary, no matter how metaphoric, but or on the nose even, which some elements of this trailer feels like. But
yeah,
I want to see what the context is. Like, I feel like it's going to be
same.
It's pretty dark, and like while he might have used like I don't know caricatures of certain like the president and stuff like that, like the situations are going to be very real, and the context, especially of today, are going to be.
That's what I mean. Is real. I felt like watching the trailer, they don't give too much away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it feels very somewhat by the numbers, but I'm intrigued that those gray areas are going to actually be very intriguing.
That's what I mean. I feel like Alex Garland is one of those directors and writers.
Yeah.
Like the trailer for Men, I definitely envision. I envision something.
You saw something different?
Like a little bit, like more like a traditional thriller. But like Annihilation was like weird as hell. It went way over my head for sure. So I mean, I'm a dummy, but the same with Men. Like it lost me at certain points, but I try. But that's also the fun thing about Alex Garland is he provokes these kind of questions about what certain things mean and stuff like that. So that's why I feel like the trailer, though in certain parts seems generic, I think there's a lot more.
There's deeper, yeah.
Yeah. And look at the cast, like Kirsten Dunst, Jesse Plemons, Nick Offerman. That's 3.
I mean, you're pulling the words right out of my mouth. The second thing I wanted to talk about, like the reason why I keep watching this trailer over and over again is because Jesse Plemons shows up. and he has like the dope moment of the trailer.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, let me watch that one more time. Run it back. Okay.
Yeah,
Because,
yeah.
ooh, and that, Ed, I'm sure you'll be not surprised to hear, but Jesse Plemons is like the actor. You know what I mean? Like every time he shows up, it's not just us, you and me. Like the internet talks about Jesse Plemons every time.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, he's been someone that like the first time I saw him was Breaking Bad, but ever since then, it's like he seems to only come out with some hits. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Fargo season 2. Him and Kirsten Dunst did The Power of the Dog recently, and they both got like nominated for Oscars.
Wow, I forgot about that shit.
Yeah,
dang, dude, they're working.
This is like they're like a subtle power couple.
Couple, right?
Yeah, like they're just, but it's not like a song and dance. They just come in and just rock that shit.
No, I mean? Yeah, absolutely. They're like salt of the earth. Like I want to see what they're doing. I do have some predictions. I feel like Kirsten Dunst's character, like she either gets sidelined or gets killed at some point in this movie because she's in like a big chunk of the first half or more of the trailer. And then all of a sudden they shift the focus of the two characters to the I don't know who they are, the dad and the daughter or whoever they are. So I'm assuming at some point she disappears.
Maybe, or they might just have two parallel storylines.
Things going on. They go down separate paths.
Yeah.
But the third thing that really made me watch this trailer again was the fact that Nick Offerman seems to be playing the president, a third-term president, which when I asked the question about California and Texas, I assume that has something to do with it. The fact that a president is like, I'm still the president. But there's a one shot specifically where he's like reciting the American pledge, you know, like one nation under God, you know, with liberty and justice for all or whatever. Yeah. And they cut to the shot of the Oval Office where he's like, they're dragging him out of the Oval Office. And that to me kind of shook me because it's like, you can't touch the president. You know what I mean? Right. There's 45 million people in between you and the president who are willing to like shoot you dead before you get close. You know what I mean? Yeah. And absolutely. I don't know why, like that shot of them dragging him out of there, I was like, whoa, I'm interested to see how that happens.
There's some very significant imagery throughout the trailer, like the Lincoln Memorial getting blown up and shit like that. Mm-hmm. So yeah. It's going to be provoking for sure.
Yeah, this is one that I definitely want to see, and I don't have any clue on how I'm going to feel about it. You know what I mean?
This is a big deal too, because it's Alex Garland.
Yep.
It's being produced. You know, it's a A24 film, but it looks like it has a pretty big budget, and they're actually promoting it for IMAX too.
So I want to say, back me up if you heard this, like A24 recently was saying they want to do action movies, like they want to expand their box office potential or whatever.
Yeah.
And I guess
the idea of that.
This is that. Which is like, again, something like, look, you take a whole step back, you're going to see an A24 movie, whether it's in theaters or you rent it or you stream it, whatever. Yeah. Like you and I are going to watch an A24 movie.
Exactly. It carries a bit of weight.
Exactly. So if A24 goes, I'm going to make an action movie, and then the very next thing comes out is this like Civil War shoot 'em up type thing. Okay, I already assume it's going to be intriguing, and I want to give it a chance. This is going to be like the litmus test on if they can do it or what, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. I was charged up on this, so
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be great. That movie, Civil War, comes out April 26th, 2024. Maybe a little later. That's just expected as of now. So yeah. All right. So Miguel,
Ed, listen.
We're getting into our feature discussion, man. Do you want to hold off on the holdovers until Luis is present? Because
I want to talk about that one. Though
exactly.
I don't want to talk about this next one.
The Golden Globes.
Man.
You just want to skip it?
No, I don't want to skip. No, I don't want to skip it. I'm more so just saying, man, you know me. I'm not like the awards ceremonies guy. I
All
like
right,
watching.
so let's vibe on it.
I like watching the Oscars, but I'm not going to do the whole season. You know what I mean? How
And you know
about
what?
this
It
is
is the Golden Globes, so like the fact that we're even giving it the
Ricky
time
Gervais,
of day.
he hosts these.
Yeah.
So how about this? You want to vibe? How about we go category by category for like the top 3 or 5 and
And I want to hear your predictions as of now.
yeah, as someone who's seen them or not seen them, I'll give you my.
And then if there's like a mission that stands out to you,
I got you, bro.
Shout out, baby.
You. Yeah,
all right,
man.
Let's dive into it. Best motion picture drama. Man, it's like mostly movies that people have just been talking about all year.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. That's the list.
That's the list, and then we'll get into the musical comedies. But basically, it's Anatomy of a Fall, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, and The Zone of Interest.
Listen, as someone who has not seen all these movies, have you seen all of them?
I haven't seen 2.
Okay.
I haven't seen Past Lives or Zone of Interest yet.
Okay, so 4 out of 6 you've seen. I've seen 2 out of the 6.
Nice.
I mean, I think it's going to come down to Killers of the Flower Moon or Oppenheimer, right?
Yeah. I'm going to go on this one for Golden Globes specifically. I think we're going to give it to Killers of the Flower Moon.
Because Golden Globes are kind of like the popularity contest.
It's exactly what that is, Miguel.
Okay, so this is mine. Actually, I should pay more attention to the Golden Globes. I should actually be like, guys, the Golden Globes are out.
It's like everybody's been turning this down, but Miguel will host this.
I'll suck off a globe so hard. Okay. No, I would say Killers of the Flower Moon. Just because it's a vibe, dude.
For sure. Okay, so musical or comedy, everybody's favorite category.
Now I feel bad Luis isn't here. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. American Fiction, Barbie, The Holdovers, May, December, Poor Things. Miguel, we'll talk about this movie a little bit more later on, but it is hilarious to me, and I think a lot of this movie went over my head, but May, December, I watched this the other day. It did not strike me as a comedy, and definitely not as a musical.
I will say I have been hearing discourse about this on the internet. Okay. And understanding the plot, the story of this movie, I'm like, oh, okay, that doesn't strike me as something that is like organically a comedy. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But I have seen tweets. That are like, it's so dumb this got nominated for a comedy. There's only like 1 or 2 funny bits. And then there were some people that were like, well, I saw this in the theater and people were like cracking up, laughing, watching it. So it depends on where did you watch it, in the theaters or at home on Netflix. Right. And maybe that colors your opinion on it.
And what was your expectations of it going in? You know,
yeah, I never would have called that a comedy just on the plot synopsis. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. So that's interesting, Miguel. We were talking about popularity. I was just like, it's got to be Barbie, right?
It's got to be Barbie. But I will say this: I would like wholeheartedly give it to the Holdovers as well. You know
I'm getting that feeling.
I think both of these, of all of these movies, Poor Things is that
Emma Stone movie. I think that
with Yargo or whatever. I think that is also very popular. Yeah. Those are the 3 for me that I would just like, just pick out of the zeitgeist because those are being talked about. Barbie seems like the strongest one though.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So this next one, we don't have to get into all of it, but like I was bummed to see that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles wasn't nominated for Best Animated.
Oh, man. And Wish was. Ooh.
Wish, and I'm sorry, and the Super Mario Brothers movie, and Elemental. All of those movies. That's just me personally.
I hear
I'm just saying there's room. I don't know what Suzumi is.
I would have...
Sorry, go ahead.
No. I'm not trying to stomp on you. I would have gotten rid of Wish. You know what I mean? That would have been the easy one. I think you can't argue that Super Mario Bros. And what was it? Elemental, you just said?
Yeah.
What did you say? Yeah, I mean those two
Elemental.
those were big. You know what I mean? Animated movies of the year. I mean, Elemental, I've seen like 4 or 5 times now.
Wow.
Super Mario Brothers, I've seen 4 or 5 times now because my son loves them. And I'm not trying to say my son is the voice of American children, but I just think those two were very popular. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I mean, I watched that quite a lot.
Yeah.
And a couple of these others, like The Boy and the Heron. The only reason it's like, maybe I haven't seen it yet, but the internet's talking about it. People are talking about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson's about to get like recognition for that movie. Not necessarily an award, but the internet is talking about him.
Because he's the voice in it?
Yeah, he plays the bird in that movie. Have you not seen this?
No. Well, I knew...
not me knowing something. Not me knowing something Ed doesn't know.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, hey.
No,
I remember they did the announcement of like the cast. I just forgot that he was.
This is his first voice acting role, and the internet is praising him because like he basically came prepared, like a really good actor would. You know what I mean? He like came with like homework and was ready to go. They filmed it. They filmed all of his things in 2 days, or recorded all of it in 2 days.
That's awesome.
And he basically like the internet was basically saying. There was like no notes when he came in to record. They were like, yes, this is the version of that character, the American version of that character. Yeah. Or sorry, not American. Sorry, the English speaking version.
Oh, okay.
I'm showing my prejudice. In the Civil War, I would shoot. No, no, I would get rid of Wish. I mean, these other movies, I'm kind of behind, and I don't want to overtalk it. So Ed. You're the boss.
Sure.
Go ahead.
All right, let's talk about the stupid category that they shimmied in here. That I guess the Oscars were talking about doing this too. Cinematic and box office achievement.
The
whatever that
CABOA.
means. Yeah.
The COBA.
The COBA. Coboa.
Coboa. That's it.
Man, so I don't know exactly what this is just saying, like, the movie that made the most money.
Oh, wow. I'm just reading the list.
I'm just like, this is just sad. But it's basically, again, the popularity contest. So
the nominees,
the nominees, quote unquote, and Miguel, I'm going to tell you, man, the winner is the first one, Barbie. Like, I'd be willing to bet that that's the movie that wins it.
I don't know. That one year, Luis talked about it before. That one year, what was it, Ed, where they did God, I can't even remember what they called it. Where, oh my God, I'm blanking on it now. It was like a popularity contest already in like the Oscars or whatever, where some moment, it was like Zack Snyder's Justice League won some big moment.
Oh, and
it was
like best cinematic scene, and
this is that. This is like now the categories are a little more for the people,
right? Yeah, it's turning into the MTV Awards.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. So Barbie.
Yeah, I think just like it made the most money. It was the hottest trending thing all summer. Like, I don't know.
I mean, all of these on this list are pretty big. I mean, it's like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, John Wick, Chapter 4, Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning Part 1. You know what I mean? Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, sequel. Obviously, the Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour is going to win this one. Okay?
Yeah. Don't even mention it. Miguel, I don't know about you, but I feel like this year is going to be the year of Christopher Nolan, and I think he's going to sweep the directing awards.
Ooh, Ed, baby, listen, I don't know where I don't have the notes in front of me. Okay. I'll tell you this: on a vibe alone, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Maybe that.
Let me see Christopher Nolan get that Best Director.
Oh, baby, I'm ready for it. You know, maybe Oppenheimer could win Best Picture, but I think Killers of the Flower Moon has more of a chance of winning Best Picture.
And Christopher Nolan getting Best Director. Luis, jump in here.
Best Producer,
okay?
Luis.
I'm jumping in. What are we talking about?
We're talking about
Golden Globes, baby.
We're calling it right now. Luis, this is going to be the year of Christopher Nolan winning Best Director.
Yeah,
across
I agree.
the board. across the
I'm here with you. I think that's what's going to happen. This is the year he's getting everything.
All right, guys. Every time that Christopher Nolan, from here on out, wins an award for Best Director, we're going to take a shot on the next podcast.
Okay.
Wait, what do you mean?
Yep.
Like for every award, like the DGA, the Golden Globes?
Yeah, exactly.
If Nolan's name is attached.
Yeah, from every award show going forward.
We're getting lit.
Getting lit. Wherever you are, take a shot.
Listen, we've talked about my opinion on Oppenheimer already. And even though I have those opinions, I still think that he is in place to win. You know what I mean? I think there is a strong campaign for him to win
I'll
those
say
awards.
this. You guys remember when Leonardo DiCaprio won Best Actor for The Revenant? Okay.
Yes.
I personally did not think that was the role. Okay.
Right.
But you can sit there and point to Leonardo DiCaprio as a great actor and you go, he deserves it. Absolutely give it to him. I'm okay with it. If Christopher Nolan wins that, it'll be kind of a similar vibe. Like, he's done so much. Absolutely give him an award. But I also think he deserves it for this one.
Yeah.
This is the one. If this is the one, I'm okay with it.
Yeah. No,
I want him to be it.
And I mean, similarly, people have said the same thing about Martin Scorsese and The Departed. You know, like he should have won sooner. Absolutely, he should have 3 in his pocket at least. He won for The Departed. But that was a worthy film. That was a great film.
It was.
But yeah, no, I agree. I like Luis. Do you think you're gonna give Oppenheimer another go before end of the year lists?
I definitely am. I'm going to give it another shot. I'm going to give it another chance.
Good. I just rewatched it on Viaplex.
Let's watch it on the projector when we get together next week. Okay.
For the sleepover.
Yeah, no, I don't know about that. Maybe we watch something else. I don't know if I want to dedicate that time to it. I'll do it. That's 3 hours. I don't want to dedicate those hours to doing
125 inches of that dick.
I got some other movies I want to watch with you.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Ed, let's keep going. We're finishing the Golden Globes.
I'm not. So, Luis, we're just vibing.
Totally, I'm here for it. Let's go.
Are there any particular categories that maybe you wanted to talk about?
No, I'm jumping in hot here. It's mostly, I think I just wanted to flag, like, look, these are the movies that you want to look out for this year. They're going to be coming up in the Oscars. I think some movies weren't on my radar, but now they've popped up. Like December is one of those movies. Like, oh, that wasn't like in my.
Oh, really?
Yeah. At least it wasn't like top of mind. And then I feel like it's just getting more and more attention.
Sure. No, yeah. It's definitely a conversation starter. It's one that I was able to watch over the weekend. So, yeah. But it's been picking up steam, especially with the cast. It's a good little ensemble, but we'll get more into that later. We were saying it's going to be the year of Christopher Nolan, I think, for director. What about some acting categories? You guys
let's do
have any predictions? And Luis, we were trying to keep in mind, like, you know, this is the Golden Globes, so it's very much the popularity contest of the award season. So they might not necessarily pick the,
right.
Well, anyway, I digress, but you know, keep that in mind. But like, you know, all right, I guys, I'm gonna point to you for a category, and you say, like,
point to me, Ed.
I'm pointing at you, Miguel.
I want to talk
best actor. Best
actor in a motion picture drama. Okay. I mean, if I could just read the category real quick, it's Andrew Scott, All of Us Strangers, Barry Keoghan, Saltburn, Bradley Cooper, Maestro, Cillian Murphy, Oppenheimer, and Coleman Domingo, Rustin, Leonardo DiCaprio, Killers of the Flower Moon. Man, I got to say, it's got to come down. I said it already. It's got to come down to Killers of the Flower Moon and Oppenheimer. I do think this. Cillian Murphy, this is the win. I think that will please everybody. Sure. Cillian Murphy taking best actor. I'm more so projecting for the Oscars, but for Golden Globes, if we want to sweep, you know what I mean, the awards category, it's him.
Yeah.
I will say this: my personal favorite was Leonardo DiCaprio, Killers of the Flower Moon. I really enjoyed his performance in this movie, and I really enjoyed his performance in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I know I talk about it all the time, but like those two, these were clearly like
One
the
of his
movies
best,
he could have earned it. He one of some of his best work. So
Yeah, absolutely.
what about
Let
you?
me
Sorry,
tell
do you have
man, I'll be honest. Apart from Andrew Scott, because I haven't seen that movie yet, though I do want to, because I've heard nothing but great things. But I honestly, Miguel, would not be mad if any one of those actors won, because I love Barry Keoghan in Saltburn. Bradley Cooper, I just saw Maestro this weekend, and I thought he was terrific, and I'll get more into that later too. Cillian Murphy obviously carried Oppenheimer. Like, it was an internal performance, but it was a really good one. And like you said, it's just feels like the one
moment?
for him. Yeah. Coleman Domingo for a while was kind of like a front runner, but I don't think enough people are checking out Rustin on Netflix. But he also gave a really good performance. Me and Luis talked about that movie last week.
That you were talking about it last week, and then I heard all the Golden Globe nominees. And I was like, "Hey, Ed was on top of that shit." You know what I mean?
He
called it out. He was. He was like, "Check him out."
Yeah, my fingers on the pulse.
Finger on the pulse.
And then, Leonardo DiCaprio, for all the reasons you said, Miguel, it's just like it is one of his best performances. I think like they're going to push hard for Lily Gladstone in that department.
Yeah. And that's the other thing is like if Killers only gets Lily Gladstone, then my life is complete. Okay.
I think I think she's going to win, and I feel like around LA, I've been seeing they took down posters, or at least where I'm driving, they took down the poster of Killers of the Flower Moon with the whole cast, and they just put up Lily Gladstone as the main thing. So I think they know that
she was so good.
Yeah.
Good.
Sorry.
Awesome. Well, Luis, do you have any thoughts on Best Actor?
It's funny. Last week we were talking about Iron Claw, and I think Zac Efron should be nominated, and so he would be one of my snubs for not being nominated for Best Actor.
Man, did it not get any nominations?
I don't think so. I think it's just. I think it might be hit the blind spot on a lot of people, which is going to be unfortunate. So we'll just see how the Oscars, once we see those nominations.
Nothing but great things about Iron Claw.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I know you saw Maestro, which we'll talk about later. But do you think that those, rightfully so, that their nominations are getting picked up for Golden Globes?
Yes.
Okay.
I was just telling Miguel, like, I would be happy with. I haven't seen All of Us Strangers yet, but I would be happy with any one of those. The rest of the actors winning, honestly.
Okay.
Bradley Cooper, I think he's generally fine, but like in Maestro, it's transcendent. It's like a completely different person. He really commits to it.
Okay.
And I'm excited to talk about that one. But but no, I do think maybe Cillian Murphy has it in the bag.
Yeah.
Personally. Maybe.
Okay.
All right. So do we all agree that Lily Gladstone will get actress?
Yes.
I mean,
any
that's
comments
who I
on
want.
that? Exactly.
I'm also thinking.
Right.
I'm also thinking here. I was thinking about on my drive to work. Next year is going to be our 2-year anniversary. All right, it's crazy. And I thought, what a beautiful way to celebrate our 2-year anniversary by doing the first annual Punchies, where we come up with our movie of the year, actor of the year, or whatever. I didn't tell you guys this earlier. This is coming in hot. But we can brainstorm about it later. But I feel like just get it in your mind. Like maybe we can start coming up with like, giving out our own little awards.
No, I'm down. I'm down.
I already have the blueprints.
Because you have the Eddies. Yeah.
The Eddies. At my work computer once a year, I handing out the awards to myself at the table. And Best Picture was Everything Everywhere All at Once. So
I apologize
I'm
to
down.
your
I'm here for
IT person at work who's like, is he ever working?
it. Just like, what is he doing right now?
No, hang on, guys, gather around. He's giving himself an award.
The Batman? What?
Oh man.
Anyway.
Dude, Luis, I was saying this earlier. I hate award season, man. This is like my least favorite.
That is not what you said earlier. That is
No.
not what you said earlier.
I hate Ed. I hate this show. No,
Okay.
no. Dude, I don't know what it is. Like, and
Do you
mainly
feel a
it's
lot of
because
pressure?
it's
watch
the
these
pressure.
movies?
Like, I'm like, I
Yeah.
have to watch all of these right
Yeah.
now. And if
There
I
are
miss
a lot of
I miss
movies.
them.
It
a
cranks
lot.
up real fast, you know.
Yeah.
And like in November or in October or November, it's like, oh, we're fine. Nothing is coming
Yeah.
out. In fact, we had
Yeah.
issues of trying to figure out
And-
what to review on the show, and now there's
I
too
know.
much. They just turn the fire hydrant on, blowing us with all these movies. Like,
And
it's a
we've
lot.
been talking about this. We've been talking about this subscription service all year long, where I can go see all these movies. But now it's the holidays, and I'm like, I don't have time to see any movies. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
Yes.
I'm traveling right now. You know,
I would say this though. Take some, pride
Go on,
in
Ed.
that. Well, or some comfort in the fact that the three of the biggest front runners of the whole
I've
season
seen already.
you've seen already. Oppenheimer, Barbie, and then Killers of
Yeah.
the Flower Moon. Like, you already knocked that
Yeah.
out. So
Yeah.
even if you go to the Oscars not having seen any more, like, obviously you saw the holdovers, but like you're gonna see, you've seen the winner in some major categories.
You've heard
In
me here
major
first.
categories.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be like, yeah, you guys, I knew.
He was on the pulse, finger on the pulse.
Oh man.
So yeah. Anyway, are there any other specific categories anyone wants to talk about? Supporting TV? Is there any TV nominations?
Ooh.
you want to talk
Succession and the
I'm
Bear is going to
scrolling.
win everything, right?
I'm
That's pretty
scrolling.
much.
The Bear
wrote the same
absolutely.
thing down. I don't want the
Yeah.
Bear to win everything, but it will.
I feel like that's.
You know what? My only wish of the whole Golden Globes, my only wish is that Hannah Waddingham wins supporting actress for Ted Lasso. And then I'll be happy.
What's her
'Cause that
name?
woman
Sorry.
deserves everything. Hannah Waddingham. She was the tall blonde,
Oh, right.
the boss.
Oh man, can I talk about best television comedy, musical or
Yeah.
comedy for a minute?
Yes.
I see the Bears here. I do agree the Bear is the one that's going to win, but we don't talk about television enough. This is a stacked category right now. Best television musical comedy: Abbott Elementary, Barry, which was the final season, The
Yeah.
Bear, Jury Duty, Only Murders
yeah.
in the Building, and Ted Lasso, the final season. I mean, that's a pretty stacked category.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it is. And I love that last season of Ted Lasso.
And Barry was really good, but it was also not funny. It was like drama. Like, and not to
Yeah.
say it wasn't like, oh, it wasn't.
But
you know,
but they're also like, this is the category you could potentially catch that award. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
right, exactly. It would just
and
be
that's
very
what it
odd.
has been in the past.
It's Exactly.
Abbott Elementary suffered a slower season, shorter season, excuse me, because of the strikes. So this is not even like a full
But Abbott
contender, and
Elementary's
it's a
won.
great show. Oh,
It
you're
won
totally right.
Emmys. It won an Emmy, not Golden Globe. Maybe
Oh,
that's
you're
what I'm
right.
thinking.
But it could. I'm just saying this is the content that could do it, but not necessarily this season. So even though I know the Bear is going to get it, I do think it's a pretty stacked category. Jury Duty, Only Murders in the Building. I mean, we've talked about the three of them hosting the Oscars. Like that's good content right there.
Mhm.
All right. Yeah, that's that.
Nice.
I'm gonna calm down. I'm gonna catch my breath.
I came in a little late, so I don't know where we're at, but I feel like if we covered everything, then we covered it all.
That's it. What a good,
Luis,
what a good
unless
talk.
you-
What a good
have a
episode,
thought.
everybody. Let's go. We'll see you next week. I was kidding.
All right, thanks. It's been me, Ed Ball, and with me.
No,
Um,
no. I watched
So-
this movie. We have to talk about it.
Okay, so yeah, Miguel wants to talk about the holdovers, even though I talked about it 4 weeks ago. Whatever.
Okay, all right. You know what?
Okay,
I
when
didn't have
I-
to watch it today.
Listen, when I programmed this week's episode, I didn't realize the Golden Globes nominations were being dropped. So I was like, I got to find something. Let's talk about the holdovers.
Yeah.
And then these dropped, and I was like, well, now we'll do both.
Yeah.
Well, we can skip it. We can talk about
No,
the
because
17
it's
things that Ed
technically-
watched.
Well, it's technically been what you've been into, Miguel, so let's talk about it. and I've seen it, so I could give you feedback. But you clearly liked it.
I mean, yeah, there's really nothing to say. So we watched The Holdovers this week because I was asked to, but also because I really wanted to, and it was good. I watched it today. What a solid movie. Kind of like instant holiday classic. You know what I mean? I constantly am telling my wife, like, they just don't make movies like this anymore. And this is one of those movies. I've said this a lot this year, but when I watched Oppenheimer in the theaters, there was like a list of trailers that played beforehand, and every single one of them smacked for me. And The Holdovers was one of them. So I was really looking forward to this movie. Solid performances all around. It went in directions I wasn't quite expecting, but at the end, I looked back and I was like, oh, that was totally where it was going. No, I mean, comfort. I don't want to overtalk it. Just like comfort, nostalgia, but a nice warm
hug of a movie. The characters, like just well drawn characters, great performances. Paul Giamatti's great. Like,
if we don't want to overtalk it, there was just like moments that I loved.
No, let's talk about it. It's okay.
I just feel so bad.
And
no,
Louisa,
I want to talk about it too. This was I saw it this week for the first time as well.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a very recent viewing for me. Speaking about cozy, I remember you talking about that last time, and I was trying to like bring it into words. And what it really does nicely, it has these like long picturesque shots when people are just kind of walking, and looking at that is just comforting. Just seeing like things in the snow, slow tempo.
You live with those characters.
Yeah, it's almost like, you know, in the holidays, people put on a nice fire crackle on the TV, because they can't afford a fireplace, so they actually put it on the TV. It's kind of that situation where, you put on this movie and you just have nice vistas, snow falling with this folk soothing music happening. And it's like, it is a nice warm hug because it's taking its time. Miguel's talking about how they don't make movies these days. It's true. Everything is just so cut fast, cut happy.
Yeah.
Here we're like sitting with these characters. We are just sitting with these moments. And I think the whole thing was shaped to be comfortable. Again, long shots, folksy music.
Just done
well. Paul Giamatti is just a Grinch of a man.
A road trip movie.
Yeah.
Man, it shifts like halfway through into a road trip movie. And you're like, I remember I got halfway through the movie. I paused for something. I came back to it. And I was like, wow, there's so much left here to go. What are they going to do? And it was a road trip movie.
Yeah.
It treats itself almost like books do, and I would say even, I don't know. It's kind of like a quasi mini epic because you have these moments where the holdovers are these cast of people. Like, oh, here's our quirky cast of people we're going to be staying with throughout the whole movie, and then they're gone. That's end with that chapter, and now we have these three people bonding, and then it becomes a road trip movie, and then it becomes into something else, and so it really does evolve. But it's kind of like a simple, effective story. If you just kind of see how these characters play on to the next beat, to the next beat, and to the next beat. And I don't know. It's good storytelling.
It pays off.
It pays off.
It's satisfying.
Absolutely.
And it gives you just the right amount, like, fuck it. Just spoilers, everyone. But like when they say goodbye to one another at the end.
Oh man, what a great scene.
And it was very poignant for me at when I saw it, just like, them talking about his father. He's just like, you don't have to be your father. Like, it hits home. And again, just so effectively done, so delicately done by Paul Giamatti, man. Like, it's almost a shame that it's such a stacked year because I would love to see him get his dues, man. Like you talk about those kind of career awards. Like Paul Giamatti, I think is like.
But if he won on this one, you would go.
I'd be a little
so deserved.
Deserved.
No, I was on the same boat as Miguel.
I cut out.
No. I was kidding, but he, like, with the other ones, like we were talking about earlier, Leonardo DiCaprio, Cillian Murphy, Barry Keoghan, like, it's such a stacked year, and I would be happy for any one of them to win, including Paul Giamatti.
I would say, yeah, honestly, Cillian Murphy, Paul Giamatti, Leonardo DiCaprio, Barry Keoghan. That's my list.
Wow. I haven't seen Saltburn. Now that makes me want to see it so I can kind of like
I wish you
compare.
would, yeah.
I'll do it. I want to.
And then people are obviously talking about Jeffrey Wright, but like,
right.
Leo DiCaprio. What's the other one? Bradley Cooper. Bradley Cooper.
We'll see. I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna have to say. There are two funny quotes that I liked from this movie. One of them is they're at a Christmas party and the janitor gives a gift to the lady. What's her name? The one who cooks.
Mary, is that her name?
She's phenomenal. And she so says, good. "Oh, you didn't really have to do that." And then he responds,
"Probably gonna get the Oscar this year too."
And then he responds, "Ain't got nothing to do but pay taxes and die." And I just laughed out loud. I was like, "What a quote! That's true. I ain't got nothing to do but pay taxes and die." So that was a good line. And then Paul Giamatti near the end of the movie, he called the principal. He's like, "You are penis skin." Or something like that.
No, penis cancer. Yeah.
Oh, penis cancer. Okay, there you go. Yeah. Thank you.
That cracked me up. No, I mean the whole final act I thought was beautiful. There were some really great moments. I mean, that was where the movie, like, I had to stop what I was doing and just watch, for very extended periods of time. When he sees his dad and telling him, and you could tell he's lying to his dad so he can like brag and be happy and just like share a moment. And then the dad like devolves into his mental illness. And then they cut to them back in the taxi and he's staring out of the cab window. And I mean, I was just sitting there going like, oh my God, it's breaking my heart, the fact that he like can't connect with his father in this way. Mm-hmm. And to take a step back, like talking about like a movie being a movie, like they do kind of tropey things there. Like, right. He comes back and he's like, "You're more than your dad. You're more than this thing. I'm a role model." But
those moments aren't played cheaply. So like they don't cheapen the emotions. They're very honest. Do you know what I mean? So you're allowed to be those. I've been watching this movie for this entire time, and when they say those things, I'm just like, yes, this is the moment.
Yeah.
I
really enjoyed this movie.
One scene that sung to me was at the same Christmas party where Davine Joy Randolph, I think
that's right.
I just had it. Anyway, she gets a little drunk and then has that little breakdown in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Devastating.
They shut the door,
Yeah.
A storyline that you kind of, I don't know, you don't realize, oh, we're dealing with this right now.
She's still dealing with it.
She's still dealing with it, and she gets kind of her arc throughout the movie.
Yeah, and she gets to take her baby shoes to her sister for her kid.
Oh man.
Oh
dude.
Yeah, just such like delicate touches throughout the whole film.
When it becomes the three characters, it's like, okay, I am locked in. Like, let's go. Because we were saying earlier, it does feel like one type of movie in the first act. Mm-hmm. And when they decide to go, no, it's beyond that. I mean, that was when I was like, I have to pay attention right now. This is so good.
Yeah.
And that actor, they were location scouting and they found this school to do it at. And they said, we're looking for a kid. Hey, let's look into the drama department and see what kind of actors they have there. And they found this guy and they were able to like pull him in to play that role in this movie. And I was like, wow, these are all kind of great performers, great moments. A little bit
of trivia, yeah.
We talked about, I'm sure we talked about like the final scene where they say goodbye to each other for the final time. But there was something about the way, and this might have been the direction of the movie, but there was something about the way where Paul Giamatti has made this sacrifice as a teacher. Like, I'm losing my job for this student to keep him on. And they have this moment, and you kind of expect it to go like, thank you so much for fucking saving my thing. But instead he goes, they have this kind of tender moment, and he goes, anyway, see ya. And he like runs off into the field. You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah.
And there was something so kind of like juvenile about that response that it's just like, he kind of understands this is a big deal, but he's also like this dipshit youngling.
Yeah.
And he's just like, okay, bye. And then Paul Giamatti being like, all right, see you. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. That really spoke to me. I just loved that moment of the movie.
It's got a lot of nice touches throughout. It's and then the whole, it's not like shoving Christmas in your face, but it's just the Christmas feeling.
It's there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the whole build up. And then they have fun with it at the beginning with all the other kids too.
Yeah.
You know? Just like bouncing the kids off.
No, you
and
think
then
you're about to get this like ensemble. Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be like the whole class of kids that win the teacher over or whatever. But no, it kind of narrows down. But I like
the range of kids that they picked too, where it wasn't just the older kids; it was also these kind of like two younger kids, and I like that dynamic of having
like levels. Yeah. Like it was unexpected because it was like, oh, these are like children. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And Luis, I mean, whatever. You talked about going to like a private school or whatever, where you were in 12th grade and like your youngest cousin or whatever was, in the bottom grade. And it's like there is that dynamic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of life. The kid has like he has a nightmare and he wets his bed, and then the guy is like, hey, just fucking stop crying, okay? Like I don't, and then there's you feel like there's this like touching moment when you have like
there are tender moments when you have like older kids mentoring younger kids, or younger kids dealing with the pressure of older kids trying to be cool and trying to step up, but they're still young and they still don't know, and then older kids trying to act like they know better. It's just a fun dynamic of having all of those things to play out, and then they leave, and then we just get to focus and concentrate on these three characters going through their journey. And it is kind of like it follows a hero's journey, especially for Paul Giamatti's character. Like it's freeing that he finally gets to leave that school and get out of his comfort and explore.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to win a lot of awards because it's so.
I don't think so.
I think it'll get the nominations.
Yeah.
I guarantee now that Davine Joy Randolph will win
for supporting.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. I think she's the one to beat. So
what category is she in?
Supporting actress.
Sorry, I'm scrolling while we're talking.
Let me look at my notes here. But I think it will have a presence, but I don't think it's going to be as much as a comfort nomination as it is, a comfort movie. And like, not to detract from that, I just think it's just a testament.
Oh man, she's in this Emily Blunt category. I want Emily Blunt to get it because I thought she was amazing. That's a tough one, but I see what you're saying, and she was really good. I mean, like I said, when it came down to those three characters, that was when I was like honed into this story. This is like a holiday. Like I said, I would throw this in the rotation of Christmas movies every year.
Nice.
I would be glad to watch it multiple times.
Or Thanksgiving, it's got that kind of vibes too.
Kind of like an in between. Yeah,
I just ate a bunch of turkey. I want to watch Paul Giamatti. Yeah.
Imagine my eyes did that.
I don't know how he does that. I try to look online how he did that, and I feel like there isn't an answer.
That's got to be like CGI or whatever, right?
Well, I don't think anyone's confirmed if it's CGI or if he's just doing it with his eye, or if they put a glass eye in his eye, and it drifts. It changes. It changes. I feel like at one point this one's meandering, and then at one point the other one's meandering.
With respect,
and then when he tells you which one it is, you're like, no, it's not.
No. Now, you guys remember in The Force Awakens, they pan to like the pierogi or whatever it's called, and the little penguin thing, whatever, like the little fucking.
And The Last Jedi, you mean?
The Last Jedi.
Fucking my bad. Okay, nerds.
I think it's called a porg.
A pierogi. When he's like, and it's like his eyes like jot out. Like that's what's happening with Paul Giamatti. Yeah, come on. He basically says that at one point in the movie. No, nice. I'm into this one. I couldn't believe how much I was paying attention to it throughout the day today. So
that's all we can ask for.
Yeah,
Miguel,
I get
pay
it.
attention to a movie.
You're welcome.
All right.
Okay, so
Ed,
Luis and Miguel haven't watched anything this week, but Ed, you watched it all.
You watch it all for us.
I watch it for you guys. I'll cancel out a couple of these things, like Lovers One. I won't talk about because it just made me.
Thank you.
Upset. What?
I'm doing that cat meme. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
No,
Miguel, do you know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Okay, good. Okay.
You have to
never
fill
seen
me
that
in
meme?
after.
Where the cat?
Maybe if you send it to me.
Oh.
Pull it up.
Okay.
Pull it up.
I know we're gonna pull. We can't pull it up right now. Okay.
Just keep going. Just keep going.
Yeah, let's go.
After this, stop. I'm not going to carry on if you're going to keep doing that fucking sound. That's for sure. You cunts. We'll talk about it later. Anyway, so aside from that, basically everything is brought to you by Netflix this week. To wrap it up, I watched the first part of season 6 of The Crown. I think the new season's coming out or the second part is coming out tomorrow, in fact, or Friday, as in Thursday.
As in today.
To this, as in today. And then, Luis, have you been keeping up with the Great British Baking Show?
Yeah, I'm on episode 2.
Bake Off.
Oh man, you haven't watched it then. Okay, I won't spoil it.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, it's fun. Anyway, we wrapped that up. All right.
Well, we can talk about the new host. We can talk about the new host.
Yeah. What do you think of her?
I like her. Yeah, she's fine. I think she's warming up to everything. I still feel like she's getting used to.
She'll find her feet, but she's a laugh. I think,
yeah.
and she says pastry's funny. So,
Patisserie.
But it's no, she's cool. She has a great interview with Ryan Gosling and Harrison Ford from the Blade Runner 20.
Oh, she's the host of this show?
Yeah. You know which one I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. What happened in the interview?
Send it to Luis.
They're just having a laugh riot. Like,
okay. Oh man, Luis, I can't believe you haven't seen that one.
No, maybe I have. I just.
It's solid content.
Okay.
Oh man, yeah, it's just like one of those rare.
I'll watch it after this.
Interviews where everybody's just cracking
having a good time.
It's great.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, no, she's fun. But
cool.
Yeah, enjoy the rest of it, I guess. All right, so the main discussion for this week, I kind of alluded to this earlier. December, the recently nominated comedy. At the Golden Globes. So, like, going into it, I didn't expect it to be a comedy based on the trailers and everything I'd read about it. And then I saw it being advertised as a dark comedy.
Okay.
I don't, unless it, like, just went over my head, I didn't think it was very funny. It does make some, like, interesting and funny choices. And
did you ever blow air out of your nose?
What?
Did you ever blow air out of your nose? Like,
yeah, okay, yeah, yeah, I did. Like a little.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, my jaw dropped at one point, but yeah, I would define it as a comedy. But anyway, so this is an interesting one. It's like about. Natalie Portman's character is doing research for a movie she's in about this couple, Julianne Moore and the young guy, the young hunk, who they had an affair when he was in 7th grade. And she was like obviously in her 30s or something. And then like she got pregnant and she was in prison while she was pregnant. And gave birth, and all of that, and they stayed together all this time, and now they're making a movie about it. And
sorry, just real quick, Luis, do you know the real news story of this, or are you just like nodding your head on this? You haven't seen it on TikTok yet.
There's a news story about this movie.
I feel
the real life person that this happened to.
This movie is a fictional
Was this
movie,
based on a... Yeah, I thought this was fictional.
Guys, oh no.
Okay, so now you're bringing it. Hold on. What's happening? So this movie is based on real life events?
So hold on. I'm going to make sure I Google the right person.
I took it as the kind of just like a
Mary Kay Letourneau.
general idea of what that kind of relationship would be.
Okay, this is a real person.
Yeah.
She had sex with like a third grader or whatever and acted like it was no big deal. And she went to jail for like 7 years. And when she got out, they got married.
Oh.
I'm trying to look her up now.
And it looks like she's dead too, right?
She is dead now. She has died.
Oh, okay. Well, that is...
Oh, Ed, is this the movie?
Right.
This is what the movie is referencing. Like, it's not necessarily like a actual biopic.
One-to-one.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But this is what they're talking about. Like,
so Natalie Portman is doing studies about these people who are based off of this story.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, so she's like kind of going like really, I don't know, method about it. She's like mimicking all of Julianne Moore's mannerisms, and the reason why they let her into their lives is to kind of, you know, sugarcoat or kind of give their perspective on the story and tell the story honestly in their point of view. But like as she kind of pokes and prods, things start to unravel, and you know the guy, I think his name is Joe. You know, he's just kind of this like hollow shell of a character who, like, the way he acts is what you like as kids you kind of picture dads acting like. You know what I mean? Like he has a beer, he cooks at the grill, he wears these kind of overly large like Hawaiian shirts or t-shirts or, you know, golf shorts and shit like that. Like he's never smoked weed before, but his kids do, kind of deal. So yeah, he's like a very like fragile, immature human being who's just trying to make the most out of the situation. It's kind of tragic, honestly, and it really comes to I don't know. They just kind of, it's a weird examination of that situation, and then just like acting and how actors will take people's lives and, you know, twist it or however, and also going to such dark territory is like, where's the moral line here, kind of thing, because like Natalie Portman's character goes so hard into it, you know. It's creepy, you know, in a way.
Does she like
and manipulative.
Okay.
She's kind of like flirting with the guy, but she's like slowly introducing certain mannerisms about Julianne Moore's character throughout the movie, until to this like really great scene, but kind of steals the movie with Natalie Portman kind of like acting to a mirror of this letter she found that Julianne Moore character had written the guy from prison. And it's just this incredible monologue of her imitating Julianne Moore's character.
Okay.
But it's like this and creature coming out, and I don't know, it's very interesting. It's directed by Todd Haynes, who's done like a whole
The Joker.
No, that's
The Hangover.
Blanking on it, but he's a great director. But anyway, so it's interesting. I feel like maybe some of the things went over my head, like apparently the comedy of it all.
Okay.
I went into it thinking it was going to be like more of a drama, and it was effective as such. It moves pretty quickly, but I didn't know what to take away from it at the end. But it was very interesting, and the acting is great. So I would recommend it just for that. Obviously, they're going to get some Oscar recognition. But the other movie I really wanted to talk about was Maestro, which I saw in theaters. I had to go see it in iPic because it's a Netflix film and it gets weird releases throughout, at least in Houston anyway. And a lot of context, guys. I went to see this at early afternoon.
Okay.
I hadn't really had anything for breakfast. I'd had a slice of apricot tart.
Okay.
And then I got to the iPic. I had a martini.
Okay.
And then I had an espresso. And then I had another cocktail when I sat down for the movie. So I
You
was
were
like in a
fucked up.
happy place. I wasn't fucked up. I was like absorbing what was happening. But I also, was like enjoying myself. So with that in mind, like I have always kind of viewed Bradley Cooper as a bit of a twat. Like I think he's talented, but he's just kind of got like that douchey dickhead vibe. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Maybe
I
that's just
apologize,
me.
Bradley Cooper, huge listener
Yeah,
of the
no,
podcast.
Bradley Cooper, just like hang tight because I'm about to suck your dick. But like, I like with Maestro. I think he's really like outdone himself. Like
Wow.
as a director and an actor, like he's incredible in this. And I had this was such a joyous movie for me. Yeah, I was just like so swept away with it all. It like his passion and affection for the character of Leonard Bernstein is like apparent in every frame. It is like the most gorgeous looking film of this year. It kind of just it's kind of like going off to like watching The Wizard of Oz almost. It
Right.
starts in black and white. It's just beautiful black and white, and then it like a halfway point, it kind of
just like having a musical number?
Not quite, but
Okay.
I
Do
know
you know
what
what I
you're
mean?
getting
Like
at.
how they always
Yeah,
do
yeah.
that. They always have like those
Yeah,
long
absolutely.
Yeah,
There's just like stars in the backdrop
yes,
or
yeah.
whatever. Yeah. No, I got you. But to that point, it's very much that feel. Yeah.
Okay.
And then when it switches, but yeah, there's just like so many emotional points that really hit home. There's a moment where he has a conversation with his daughter when there are like rumors going around of his like affair and stuff like that. And oh yeah, Maya Hawke is in it. I didn't know she was in this, but she plays his daughter, their daughter. But anyway, all that to say, I won't keep prattling on about it. But I really, really was blown away by this. I didn't expect it from Bradley Cooper. Like we started watching A Star Is Born, we stopped halfway through and never went back to it.
Whoa, really?
Like Sarah
You're not
and
the first person I heard that from. Okay.
Yeah, well, Sarah and I looked at each other. We were just like, I get it. Like, I'd already heard "Shallow" to death, so I'm just like, whatever. I get it. So yeah, I wasn't really expecting to go into this walking away like as blown away as I was. I think he's really committed himself to this. You could tell just like how passionate he is about this character, Leonard Bernstein.
I'm a bit weary about this movie. I'm I don't know.
I'm curious. I would be suspicious to to that you guys would enjoy it as much as I do.
I'm planning to see it.
I would love it, Luis, if you saw it in the theater. I understand it comes out on Netflix in 2 weeks, but like the cinematography, like I said, it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, and with that music, it's so beautiful, so moving, and the performances are great. So, well, like I said, like if any one of those actors in the leading acting category won, I'd be happy, including Bradley Cooper.
Whoa.
So. Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, it's great. Maestro. And that was a movie that was supposed to originally was like a Steven Spielberg production. And then he decided to do West Side Story instead and told Bradley Cooper to direct it. He's a producer on this. Martin Scorsese is a producer on this. So if Maestro by some happenstance wins Best Picture, everybody wins.
Wow.
It's great.
There you go.
But yeah, so no, I was very taken with it. Like I said, if you could watch it in a theater where you get pulled in by it, it's well worth it. I'm very keen to see what you would think of it. Miguel, I'm not expecting you to watch this movie.
Good.
And that's all we'll say about that. But it was really good. It surprised me.
Yeah, fantastic. I'm gonna check it out. And then I'm getting prepped for our, top 10 movies of 2023. Yeah, 2023.
Yeah.
I've already got some movies on my list. So, I know I have a few more to get to, and I only have some few spaces left. So something is going to get bumped.
Guys, I have every movie that I've seen this year. I have a ranking of the 2023 movies I've seen.
On Letterboxd?
On Letterboxd. So don't look it up, I guess. But I have been editing it on a very regular basis.
Of course.
Like after every movie, I add the one I've seen. I'm at 35 right now. But yeah, I have them all ranked. So.
Me too. Yeah, I got 35 of them.
Miguel, I expect you to have a full 10 this
10.
year. None of that 7 bullshit. I know you've seen 10 movies.
Miguel has seen 10 movies for sure.
Yeah, at least.
And you guys get ready for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to be at least 9 of them. Okay, let's go.
I wouldn't even be mad. You
guys, what an episode.
Wait, do you guys really not have anything that you've been into?
Oh, sorry. No, I'm sorry. Luis, my bad. No, I
don't. No, what about, it's been kind of a crazy year. Like you said, the holidays are coming up. We're trying to wrap things up. Things are getting in the way. I watched The Holdovers, been watching Great British Baking Show. What else have I been watching?
Apparently,
I finished. I know. Apparently not. I've also finished Righteous Gemstones. Actually,
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
yeah. So I finished that. And is there anything else? I've been watching Cheers with Sarah. We finished
Nice.
Frasier, and so now we're like,
Yeah.
oh, let's watch Cheers.
Did you ever watch the new season of Frasier?
Yeah, I've watched a couple episodes of that show.
What do you think? Yeah,
I mean, it's like, I mean, it's a fine, I guess. You know, it's like
it just doesn't feel like Frasier.
no, it doesn't. It's not. No,
Okay.
I think
Fair
there
enough.
are maybe 3 characters that I enjoy, and then the others I don't.
Yeah.
I think it just doesn't have that same kind of dynamic that the other one
Tradition
should.
one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I do. Out of like the newer characters, I like Niles and Daphne's child.
Oh, he's in it. Okay.
Yeah. And the guy from what's it called? Tenet is also in it. He plays Frasier's son. He was the art dealer security guy in
Oh.
when they tried to steal the art from that like
From
highly
the airport?
pressurized from the airport. Yeah. He's like
Hmm.
going through everything. Is like, you see,
Yeah.
that you'll die if you try to steal this art. Yeah, he's the son.
You'll die
but yeah.
if you watch the new season of Frasier.
and what else? I mean, I guess I played a little bit of Arkham Asylum. I
Oh,
was trying to find a game to play, and I played Arkham Asylum. And I've played that game
Love it.
before, but I don't remember it, so I tried to replay it. And it's really funny playing that off the heels of Spider-Man because
Yeah,
I'm trying to
well,
do
that's two
things-
different eras, you know.
it really, I can really feel it because I'm trying to do
Yeah.
things in Spider-Man, and it's just not
Lou.
keeping up with me. When I'm doing Arkham, it's like, ooh, I'm feeling a little bit like I'm
I mean-
slogging through this. Do you know what I mean?
I've told you this before, but like, you know, that's like the intro to the series.
Yeah.
Arkham City is like the story. Arkham Knight is like the gameplay. You know what I mean?
Arkham
if
Knight's
you're
the
looking
last
for
one,
like,
the third one, right?
yeah,
Okay.
as far as like the main trilogy, if
Right,
you're
right,
looking
right.
for like the gameplay aspect to feel like kind of on par with the current generation of
Yeah.
gameplay, that's the one.
You said-
Arkham's Asylum is, you know what I mean? That was like early PS3 when it came out. So
Yeah,
it's
I
a
had to
whole
look it
different
up.
vibe.
Right. That. So you're saying that one's the story, third one's the gameplay, and the second one is
No, the first one is the concept.
introduction. The
You know
concept.
what I mean? Yeah. The second one is the story. That is the one that
Okay.
like people. That's like the Dark Knight of the trilogy.
Oh, really?
And- but Arkham Knight is the gameplay, dude. They polish it off in that one.
Okay.
So no, you're gonna want to play those.
Ed,
to see
my
what
goodness,
I did. Like polish it off.
This is a PG podcast. Fucker.
Whoa.
I don't know if we're going to do a podcast next week. Things are getting crazy. It's also the holidays. Why don't you go celebrate yourself? Why don't you go have yourself a merry little Christmas?
Yeah, celebrate yourself.
No, maybe we will. Maybe we don't. We don't know. Because I might be traveling. I don't know when you're traveling, Miguel. But
I leave next week. Let's go.
we'll figure it out. We're also planning, hopefully, to do a podcast episode together, which would be exciting. I can't wait for that. Ed, why am I hosting this? You're hosting this the whole time. I'm going to pass it off to you. What are we doing
Oh,
next?
you just took it so naturally, but I was like, you got your hat backwards and everything.
That's right.
You came in ready to
I need a
DJ, baby.
I need a haircut is why. That's what that is.
No, I doubt it. You handsome devil, you.
Yo,
I need a haircut too. Yo,
I was gonna say, let me take you to my haircut place. Okay, I get a guest. I get a guest haircut. I get 3
and
of
you
them
got
a
whiskey.
year. Let me take you.
Wait.
Come in. I can go back.
Well, we'll talk about hair stuff next week. But listen, I'm taking over again. It's been me, Luis Gonzalez, jumping in late. And leading up the podcast has been...
Ed Bull.
That's right.
Actually, Miguel started it, so.
Oh, you
Yeah,
did?
Luis didn't hear Luis didn't hear the beginning. It's me, Miguel.
And And Paul, right?
And you,
Okay.
and you, the listener.
And
thank
me,
you so
and
much,
the listeners. Thank you so much. And until next time, have a good one.